St. Louis is a small town, everybody. You get to know people that can really help you because they'll take care of you. Stay tuned for this one, everybody.
Roofing.
That's true. Yeah,
it's true.
St. Louis is a great market. If you missed that first interview, everybody, listen to what Dave talks about because it's just just running a business the right way, contributing to your community, and working hard, and really just getting to know the people in your community.
Absolutely.
How many people do we get to know in our community based on our sports connections? I mean, that's to me. First when you came up in Blue Note, I saw that on the schedule, and I was like, I saw your truck. I'm like, that's awesome. Check out that picture of the truck. We might put that up here again. But I said, do you know the Towel Man? And you're like, oh yeah. You hung out with him. Where was it? You were saying?
I was up at the Winter Classic in Chicago this last Winter Classic, and he was about 20 rows behind me.
Yeah, Ron couldn't miss the Winter Classic.
I've seen him a few times at the. I'm a season ticket holder as well, so I run into him from time to time.
Well, it's just I joke about the fact that the Blues games and the Cardinals games are the biggest networking event you can find in St. Louis.
And the funny thing is, my brothers keep telling, "Oh, you need to get a hold of Towel Man. Maybe you make up the towels with your logo and he throws them out." I'm going, yeah, I'm sure that's been thought of before, and Ron's probably going, I don't want to deal with anybody else.
No, I've talked to Ron. He's been in the studio. I've got one of his towels up here too.
Yeah,
great. There it is. Let's see it hanging up there. It says Cardinals, and then that thing on the edge there. That's I got a few.
I see it. Yeah.
But Ron is a great guy. But I mean, literally, the St. Louis is such a tight knit community.
Yeah.
And your word spreads fast, whether you do good or you do bad. If you do bad, you might have to move to another city.
And it spreads faster if you do bad.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. And then I guess there's a few people I just forget who they are, but they're not here anymore. But if you do good and you can establish yourself in a good relationship in our community, it's a great place to live.
Absolutely.
And I think that's kind of true anywhere. But St. Louis is really tight. And it's like, are you Cardinals or are you Blues? Right? You can't not support at least one of the two, right?
You should, or at least St. Louis City now.
There you go. Yeah, the soccer team now, too. I was a big soccer player, too. Know some of the guys that played there. Great stuff. All right, well, we were talking a little bit about what is it that literally people deal with or the mistake that they make. And I hadn't anybody drill that into my head. Now that makes a lot more sense because, explain, you were talking about it last show a little bit.
So, for pretty much, biggest mistake is some homeowners they're not patient enough. Sometimes they call it in to the insurance company as soon as the storm's happening. There's nothing wrong with that. If there's something that needs immediate response, do that. But a lot of times, well, even a few years ago, when you would call the insurance company or you would call your agent, hey, I'm making a claim for hail damage. A lot of agents will say, contact a local contractor first, have them look at it. You don't want to make a fraudulent claim or a claim that's not necessary because that does go on your record. It's almost like a credit score. Insurance companies share information. They know how many claims have been made at your house, in your property, your vehicle, whatever. Homeowners is completely separate from auto owners. You might have everything bundled together, but it's still separate policies with separate stipulations and guidelines. For wind and hail, most insurance companies are now going to a percentage of what your deductible is going to be. Right. And the reason they're doing that is because we've had so many storms in the last, let's just go 25 years. A homeowner may have made 3 claims in 25 years and got a new roof each time. Well, the insurance companies, they're not dumb. They're trying to save as much money too. So for wind and hail, this is your deductible. For a fire, if your house burnt down, it's still your $1,000 deductible. Oh, okay. But for wind and hail, it could be 1% of your property value. Let's just say you have a $425,000. That's what your last tax assessment said. That's what your house was worth. 1% of that is $4,250. You're coming out of pocket for that now as well. Instead of, let the lightning strike it, burn it to the ground, I only have to pay $1,000. But if I get hail damage, I have to pay 1% of my property value. It's because so many claims are made because of the area that we live in.
Yeah, they're trying to recover some of that money because if you
Correct.
do the math there, we talked about it a little bit in the first show, but literally 1% of 100,000 is 1,000.
Yeah.
And so if you got a $100,000 house, your deductible didn't change much if you had a $1,000 deductible.
Correct.
I don't know too many $100,000 houses around St. Louis.
Not anymore, no.
Houses have kind of gone crazy. If you look at depreciation values, I look at the value of my house and what I bought it for, and it's worth almost double now.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened?
And you're paying property taxes on it, and it keeps going up and up and up.
And which is a percentage of the total too. Yeah.
Correct.
You get penalized for owning a house. My dad would go off on about that.
Mine too.
The government has to penalize anything positive that you do. We want to discourage ownership. Public officials, come talk to me a little bit. We can figure it out. But, and there's reasons for the taxes, et cetera. Get into that discussion. But I mean, when it comes to this insurance stuff, literally like 1% of a $500,000. Now you got $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, I've heard this somewhere else. Tell me if this is true. If they try to eat the deductible,
illegal.
That's a fraud. Yeah, that's fraudulent.
According to Senate Bill 101, passed by by Missouri legislation back in 2012, it is illegal for a contractor to eat your deductible.
Mark it up enough and then bring it and give you the cost difference or whatever, because it's a scam, really. I mean,
it is. Or the old adage of, if you let me put a sign in your yard, I'll eat your deductible. That's illegal as well too.
They can put a sign in the yard.
They can put a sign in the yard, but they cannot eat your deductible. That is illegal.
Wow. Yeah, so some of these things that you should worry about and understand, and we talk about this, and I think maybe it's pregame discussion we were having here, but how many of these companies, they have a great warranty, which I'm making a joke here, which is their warranty. They will warrant everything that they have worked on as long as you can see their tail lights. It's called the tail light warranty. Mm-hmm. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
What does that mean to everybody? A tail light warranty?
It means as soon as they leave your property and they're done and they've collected all your money, you ain't ever getting a hold of them again. That's exactly what it is.
And so how often, I mean, and I'm not done, but we often have people that are our buddies and our friends. Mm-hmm. People just don't quite understand what they're putting at risk by not having it professionally done and everything.
Yeah.
Because they've got down to how many pieces, how many parts, and what size. Everything is systematically.
Next, I don't have children, but next to your children being born, your home is your biggest investment of your lifetime.
Sure.
You know, and the other, you want to make sure that it is done. Now, one of the problems is a lot of people go, well, I have a warranty, you're not replacing it. You just got hit with hail. Your roof's 5 years old. I have a 15-year labor warranty. It's not. The warranty does not cover an act of God, another storm damage or wind damage or anything. Otherwise, I'd be working for a Blue Note Roofing nonprofit organization.
Well, to understand that, I think what you're saying, make sure. Sometimes I'm slow here, Dave, but it was a matter of they want the warranty to be covered, and it was not. That's a use warranty or a failure in workmanship or with mechanical, whether the materials failed.
Correct.
But if damages happen to it, they're not going to cover that.
They're not cover. Yeah, nobody could cover that. Now, if it's a warranty issue during the manufacturing process, like for instance, hasn't happened to me in a while, but I did have a customer. He goes, my shingles look terrible. You guys put them on 2 years ago. We came back out, and it looked like the roof was 15 years old.
Wow.
So we pulled off a couple of shingles, tarped it up, sent it into the manufacturing rep that handles each contractor, whatever.
Right.
They ran it through you're right, these are defective shingles. I had them they replaced the shingles. Now they tried to get away with, well, we're not paying for the underlayment. Well, it's part of the roof system. You have to pay for that.
They didn't affected by it.
It was we put the nails in, so now the felt paper has holes in it.
Right.
You can't reuse it. So it took me a while, but I ended up getting everything squared away. But even the manufacturers, they just want to replace the shingles. Well, that ain't fair to the homeowner or the contractor who did nothing wrong. It was your defective product, and I fought and threatened.
It's going to cause everything to fail. The rain
Correct.
didn't say, oh, by the way, these were just defective. Everything else doesn't matter. That's interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and depending on the measure, but that's where you need somebody to be your spokesperson.
Correct.
When you go to court and try to represent yourself, you need to get a roofing. Don't bring a lawyer on your roof; he's not going to help you much.
No.
Get a roof contractor that's an expert that has done this for many years.
Absolutely.
I'm doubling my knowledge today, and I learn a lot, everybody. But and it's hard to absorb all of this, but just make it easy on yourself. Call somebody and know what they're doing. give Dave a call here. You can see his name and phone number up there on the screen. Dave Novak is owner and an operator, Blue Note Roofing, STL.com, 314-920-5713. And you can text that number too.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. All right, we got buried in that question because that was a good one, man. But do you do residential and commercial, or are you just strictly, or how much of each would you say?
I do about 90% residential, 10% commercial.
Okay. And the commercial is like literally there's big jobs, and they're going, Dave, not your major production, but we trust you. You do a good job.
Correct. And I have plenty of homeowners that go, hey, can you come and look at my business, my building, this and that, and I do that too. But just like in anything, I'm a smaller company. If there's a job that's going to take me a month, you're probably not going to get to it till late fall.
Right.
Because we got too many other customers that have leaks. We need to get them taken care of first. And it's not that I don't want to do commercial, because I do, but sometimes it's just more beneficial to go, look, if you need it done that soon, get somebody else. I can refer you to some other companies that I know and trust that I've seen in the St. Louis area for the last 20 years.
That you've known and you could recommend. All right, we'll take another quick break here. Another little community gig here. We're outside of Patios, right next to Busch Stadium, everybody. Check out some fun fans we get to talk to. Hey, everybody, we're outside Patios. My new best friend here, Jackson. I knew we'd be good buddies because he's got a cool jersey on. Turn around, show everybody. Sure. Hey, I asked, who's your favorite player? Nado. Hey.
Nado, baby.
All right, now, what do you, a lot of people, come on up here for me a little bit so we get that mic closer, but my videographer, I'm paying him double what I paid the last guy. So, the truth is, a lot of people thought maybe the Cardinals weren't going to have it this year. A little surprise. What do you think has made them the team that they are so far?
I think they got a bunch of young guys that are ready to play and keep going, man. I think they got they're enthusiastic. Everybody thinks they were down, and they're just coming out of the woodworks ready to go.
So, a lot of people got a little, like, there's no superstars besides Nado. They got some talent on this team.
Oh, yeah. Brendan Donovan, youngest guy, one of the youngest guys out there, best player in the league almost, man. He's got
leading the league in hits, I think.
I was about to say, leading the league in hits, second best in batting average out of everybody in the whole league, I think.
I will add this.
Maybe?
If you had a band, hey, Jackson, have you ever seen Brendan Donovan and Jackson at the same place at the same time?
I gotta grow it out a little bit. I gotta grow it out just a little bit longer, man.
Hey, stay tuned for more, everybody. Giddy up. Patios, everybody.
Yes, sir.
So there's lots of fun we get to have in the community, working with, just getting to hang out with baseball's best fans are right here in St. Louis. And so we got some great hockey fans there too. So Dave loves hockey, but he got drafted. That's pretty cool, man. I'll talk about that real quick. Do you think sports had some impact on the way you just have learned to survive on our little planet?
Absolutely.
You learn so much from sports.
Absolutely. You learn teamwork. You learn communication if you're going to be successful. And hard work and determination and the constant drive to get better every day. That's what sports does. That's what life's all about, in my opinion.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I talk about it. You've got to play some kind of sport. If you're not going to do that, you're not going to make it. If you do want to plan for your future, though, we got into that discussion last show a little bit. I'm going to share with you guys something here. This has become a big part of my show now because we want to promote this as a great means for people to secure their future. My Metal Pro, my buddy right here, Curtis, he's in the magazine. He's the #1 distributor in the company. You see him right there in the magazine. And that's not the only one. He's in this one too. And they literally have just kind of revolutionized the way you can buy gold. And I have, and there he is again, with his wife Carrie. And these coins are just a little example of what you can do to invest. I'm buying gold on a monthly basis, systemized, automated, and done at the lowest price you'll find because they figured out a way to do that. Mm-hmm. And that is something that everyone should figure out and learn to do. So go out there, check it out. Go to My Metal Pro. We talk about them at goldcowboy.com. Everybody see that? All right, let's get back here and talk a little bit more about the things we got going in our community. Dave doing a great job here with that. I'd say technology changes the world quite a bit.
Yes.
Especially, you could talk about it because back in the drones, that's real new, isn't it?
It is. Our company does have a drone or two, and one's on the repair because somebody crashed it. I'm not mentioning any names. Steve. It happens. And but drones, satellite readings that we order, called a company called Eagle View, can get me my house measurements
you don't have to be there.
Don't even have to be there. You can do it I can order it from my office. I just supply the address and what the pitch of the steepness of the roof is. I can get a reading within usually 2 hours.
Wow.
To get somebody a quote. Back in the day, we used to hand measure everything, and I have to draw up the roof, and that would be a 2-hour effect if it was real cut up or anything. Big house, lots of angles, lots of valleys, this and that. It could take some time to get it correct. I can just call.
How correct is it? Because if you're off by 1 inch,
to be honest with you, with the waste factors and everything that they have in their programming, I'm usually within a bundle.
Okay.
Above or beyond.
Okay.
Above or
Is
beyond.
that with Eagle or on your own?
With the Eagle View.
Okay.
The hand measure,
So the hand measure would
hand measure one,
more difficult.
It's more difficult, but I was almost as good as Eagle View. I could get it within a bundle or two.
Okay. Now, how much is a bundle? What is that?
A bundle is 3 bundles make up 100 square feet. So a bundle is around 33.
10 by 10.
Yeah, 10 by 10 square footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a third of that.
So
that's a little space like
one
this.
bundle is like
Good.
0.33. 3 bundles make up about almost 100 square feet is a square.
Dave's as good as the computers out there, but you said it's better to do the Eagle thing these days.
For me, it is because I can get it done, and you're not up on the roof as long. And if you're on a really high, steep roof, it can be treacherous. So
You don't want to.
safety.
Yeah, people fall off their bike, one thing. You fall off a roof, a little bit different.
You do not bounce back as well as off the bike.
We were talking about a tree issue the other day. A guy fell out of a tree because he was trying to save some money and broke his back. Don't do that kind of stuff. And roofs are usually higher than some of the times you'll be able to.
Yeah, sometimes.
But with technology in mind, keep that in mind, everybody. I'll share this a little bit. This is the book. I wrote the foreword. It is a Amazon best-selling book. #1 seller. Magnetize media so you can monetize your life if you don't follow the steps that are laid out here. I did the intro talking about all the things I know that work. They literally outline. It's like they've got bullet points here. This is not like a bunch of text you got to read. They outline it for. Get a hold of this book. But would you agree, Dave, that technology has literally, especially in the marketing world, Eagle View, what are the storm documentations, websites?
Hail tracks.
They can tell where the storms have been or not.
All depends if it was reported or not. That's always a key too.
Okay. Is there times when storms don't get reported?
Trained weather spotters, if they're not in that area, if they don't see it. But usually within a 5-mile radius of a weather spotter dictating something, it's always recommended that have somebody come and look at your roof.
Makes sense. Why is that so important though?
That way, at least even if you don't have to make a claim, at least you have the peace of mind knowing that my roof is safe. It's sturdy. I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Whether I had hail or not.
Yeah, well, and ultimately we're all trying to figure out the way to be most efficient.
Correct.
With what we're doing, because if we're not, there's going to be somebody else fix it for you.
Yep.
And they may or may not take care of it in the most effective way, because how often is it somebody goes there and goes, oh, they didn't fix this. Oh, they didn't take care of that. Another thing that we didn't. How often are you in there going, hold on, the guy that came in here did this previous job? And that's one of my questions. Tell me a time when you helped somebody that was literally in a mess, and you had to step up and say, all right, we're gonna get this right. We're gonna take care of you.
I'm dealing with a homeowner right now. She had another contractor. They delivered her material with no warning. She didn't even pick the color out, but they matched it properly. And she goes, I didn't even get to pick a color out. Well, then they kind of ghosted her. They said, well, the material's delivered, but they never got a check. But it was kind of securing the job for them, so to speak.
Right.
And after 2 weeks of them not replying, she contacted us. We went out. She gave us the insurance paperwork because they'd already been there. Normally, we'll meet with the insurance adjusters when they come out so we can get on the same page, because nothing ties up the job as more than if somebody misses something, especially from the insurance company. They might be looking at 10 roofs in a day. That's a lot of climbing around, and you miss something. It happens. We're all human. But they didn't even let her know that I'm looking through the paperwork, and I'm going, they only paid for half of your roof. They didn't pay for the whole thing.
What?
They delivered the whole roof, but more than likely they were going to charge you on the back end. Well, we did the whole roof. Don't know. I don't know. I don't know who the other company was, nor do I care. You know, they could have had a bad day. I don't know.
Sure.
Could have been a storm chaser. That was more of an effect that I think was going on, but she canceled with them, hired us. I then got the insurance company, supplied the photos, an estimate, everything, showed it to them. They pretty much gave us the go-ahead that they're going to go ahead and approve the rest of the roof, and she'll be getting her money within 10 business days. I said, I don't care about the money. She's got enough money for me to start. I'll get it going. So it's been ordered. It's scheduled for delivery. Once it's delivered, then we'll get to it within a few days.
This is what you got to do to take care of our little community. These kinds of things, the word will spread. I like to ask guests to share that not because I want them to brag, but just isn't it true that when you share with other people some of the successes you've had, that might motivate other people to follow that path. Do it right.
Do it right.
Here's how the results you'll get versus we've heard about the people who cut corners. That doesn't work out well for them.
No.
And there's people that will try that. And a lot of times just do because you're just tired. Well, find a little bit more energy. Call somebody, let them know, hey, I'm tired, but you're still going to get it done. Don't walk away and never finish what you started. Very important. We're going to give a shout out here to my producer that helped me make this little promo. He said, Carter, you got to share the story a little bit so people understand why you're doing this. So Paul wrote this for us, and we did a little recording about this the other day. Check out our cowboy story video here.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Well, hopefully that helps people understand a little bit about what we're going on. Glad we had a quick break there because Mama called. I hung up on her once. I can't take a call, but we had a minute there to discuss. But she had something going on. I got to call her back. But always make time to take care of what we got going on, the responsibilities. We talked about that. That's a tool for life.
Absolutely.
You didn't show up for a baseball game 10 minutes before it started. You had to get there an hour and a half before it started.
Absolutely. Got to get loose.
You learn this discipline.
Absolutely.
And then maybe you get the best pickoff move in the county. Right?
I had a good one. I had a good one.
And he would wait till you got to first base and do one of these. I know what it was. I used to see it coming. You couldn't look away.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh.
Then they got smart on that. Then you just stare right at him and pick him off.
He's looking at me. He's not going to throw it.
Left-handers always look at me and they go to the plate. If they're looking at the plate, they're coming to me. You got to mix it up a little bit.
Keep them guessing. That's what we learn about life and how to compete and win. All right, let's finish up here. We got 6 minutes, 7 minutes left. 6 minutes left.
All right.
I write down. Mama told me to write everything down, so I've got a list of questions here. We make sure.
Good advice.
Tell me the process. Though obviously, at this point, literally, I'm not blowing smoke. I tell people the truth about anything I deal with, and some people don't like that, but I tell them anyway. I know later on they look back and go, At least he was honest. I try to be nice about how I tell him.
Absolutely.
But I said, you got to get off this lazy this. You got to figure this out. And so many people don't want to do that, and then just to realize they create many more problems for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I'm saying, how many people listen to what you're saying? I'm going, man, I didn't realize how many. And again, the roofing guys I've had here, all knowledgeable. We should have them to cover those topics. But you had a couple core topics there. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that's part of what you have to be. And that's why you call the experts. But how does somebody get started? They've got to be looking at this video going, Dave's my man.
First thing is you need an inspection. If you're within an area, usually 5 to 10 miles, that's even that insurance company will, this is where the hailstorm was reported. If you live in that vicinity, 7, 10 miles away, it's always wise to have it inspected. Most reputable contractors and roofing companies will give you a free inspection, no obligation. It's mainly for your peace of mind. Do I have damage? If I do, what's the next step? We help homeowners go through that. If there's no damage, but I know you got hammered, because let's say you have holes in the siding, the gutters are beat up, fascia's beat up, window screens are torn from the hail, but your roofer goes, I don't see anything on here, or your insurance company, I don't see anything wrong with your roof. Sometimes it just needs time. Heat and rain, the heat will loosen up those granules that were impacted from the hailstorm and push them into the fiberglass matting. The heat will loosen those up and a good rain will wash them out. Insurance companies need photographic evidence to pay for the damages. That's why patience is sometimes your best, waiting is your best bet. Not just calling the insurance company right away willy-nilly. It's always better to have a contractor look at it first. Because if you don't have damage and you make a claim, it does go on your insurance record. And a couple of declined claims, you're considered a high risk. You can be dropped. You can be premiums raised considerably. So, even let your agent know. Your agent most of the time has dealt with a contractor. They know they're local. Whether it's me or another company, get it looked at by a local, reputable company. Your agent can usually help you with that. Now, they don't know the claim process as well as they say they do sometimes. Let's be honest, they're pencil pushers too.
Yeah.
I love them, but, it is what it is. But sometimes it's just better off to contact a contractor before you jump both feet in with making a claim.
Very important information to know, everybody. As we finish up here, we got about a minute left. What is it that ultimately gives you the most satisfaction about what you get to do here?
Just helping homeowners restore their homes that were damaged. It can be overwhelming. It can be stressful. You got kids, you got work, you got soccer practice, you got baseball games. We're going on vacation. And in St. Louis, at least recently, we can work pretty much all year round. As long as most shingle manufacturers say it's 38 degrees or warmer to get your roof done.
Tips from an expert, everybody. Get a hold of Blue Note Roofing, everyone. You're enjoying your little castle show. Giddy up.